All right, happy Tuesday night, everybody. Welcome to the daily broadcast. Easy for me to say. Glad you're out there tonight. We're gonna have a lot of fun on the show. We're coming to you from the Arctic Air Studios, where today it wasn't. You needed a little bit of Arctic air, but not as much. We were kind of normal here on the South Plains, around 80, 82, 83. I don't know where it was where you were. Not too horrible. All I know is my air conditioning was working better in the truck because I ain't got no air conditioning in the truck right now. And I ain't going to fix it this time of year. Yeah, I'm that cheap. Yes. Breaking news, Hyatt. Cheap. Not as cheap as Don Williams, who took frugal to a new level. But yeah, I'm like, I'll get it fixed here in a little bit. So don't worry about that. We got a lot of stuff to get to. It is Tuesday, Tuesday's best. Today we're talking about the greatest hitters in baseball you've ever seen in person. None of this watch it on TV stuff. In person. In person. Obviously, in honor of Pete Rose, the passing. The news broke last night while we were on the air. We'll talk about that. We also have tonight your favorite thing about Tech football right now. Right now. Right now, today, on a Tuesday night. What's your favorite thing about Texas Tech football? We don't stop there. Pete Rose, Hall of Fame, yes or no? We used to reserve this one day a year on the old Williams and Hyatt show back in the 90s, 2000s, and into the 2010s or whatever, however long the damn show ran. We do this once a year because people get tired of it. I'll ask you tonight, Pete Rose, Hall of Fame, yes or no? Why not? Yeah, gambling, everything else. We can have a great debate, discussion, everything else. So let's make it happen tonight. In three, in two. Good evening, West Texans, all you good, fine, friendly folks out there who wish you were. I'm Ryan Hyatt, theraiderland.com. You started your day there on the website. You checked out the Raiderland hot links, cool stuff from around the web. We figure if we like it, you're going to like it. Then you saw what we're going to do on Tuesday's Best. Tuesday's Best tonight, two greatest hitters you've ever seen in person. And we go from there. We're brought to you by Gators Bayou. Gators Bayou. Ice cold drinks. Boom, right there. Hot Cajun food. Got it. Awesome patio going on right now. Major League Baseball playoffs on all the TVs right now. Everything you need. If you're in Lubbock right now around 98th and Slide, head on over. Get you some awesome food and enjoy it right there at Gators Bayou. Obviously, we're also brought to you by the wonderful people in Red River, New Mexico at Lifts West Hotel and Condominium. I tell people all the time, you can go there in the summer, it's great. You can go there in the winter and ski, and it's awesome. Go there during the fall, and if you want to fish and catch big fish, you stay there in the middle of town at Lifts West. You give our man, Jeff Fagan, Fagan's Guided Fly Fishing Tours, you give Jeff a call, tell him we sent you. Hell, if he can get Chad Hasty, that Chad Hasty, catching fish, you can catch fish. All the communications on the show brought to you by United Supermarkets in Market Street, where I stopped off today and finally picked up. I'd been neglecting at the top of my list last two times. Hey, get some of that clean shower spray. It cleans off your shower. Finally got it. Guys, you know what I'm talking about. You can have like one thing, you'll get everything else on it, and you don't get that. And Boot City, 1 money, 7 mile outside the West Loop on 19th. All the Western wear we wear, you can wear. Even if you don't want to wear what I wear, you can find cool stuff there. It's almost rhyming. At Boot City. Tell Cody we said hey. All right, let's get it going tonight. Two best hitters you've ever seen in person. Major League Baseball in honor of Pete Rose. Pete Rose, Hall of Fame, yes or no? I get it. He bet on baseball. Yeah, he did. We can have a discussion about actually the Hall of Fame, the Baseball Hall of Fame in particular, and what a lot of people I think don't know. And then Texas Tech football. I think this is a great question. I like it. I pose it to you. If you're getting on right now on Twitter or X, and we love to hear from you, so you got to fire away. Thanks to United Supermarkets, the supermarket that sends money to Tech and not the other one. Or you're on YouTube, and that's great too. Your favorite thing about Tech football right now, today, at this moment, what is your favorite thing about it as we live in the moment? All right, let's get it going. All right, we'll start it off. Craig is the is the Hall of Fame as a player, in the Hall of Fame as a player, but not as a manager. Okay, yeah, talking about Pete Rose, yeah. Put him in as a player. He shouldn't go in as a manager anyways. He wasn't that great as a manager. All right. So you put him in as a player and you say, yeah, he did all these great things as a player. And then later on, when he was a manager, he bet on baseball, he lied about it and everything else. And here's 25, 55, 75, 100 other moral derelicts that we have in the Hall of Fame. And here's what was wrong with them. But we don't put that on those plaques, do we? Craig, the talking box is on. Indeed, the talking box is on. So you guys get in tonight, whether you're on YouTube, on Twitter, on X. Where are my Twitter X people? Where are my YouTube people? We got Craig coming in. I can see the numbers rolling in right now. I like it, but I want to hear from you. Particularly with Texas Tech football right now with Joey McGuire, 4-1, sneaky 4-1, 2-0, first time since 2013. That matters in the Big 12. All these things that are going on right now. What do you like the most about what you're seeing? What is it? You tell me. Jakob, let's see. Saw Rose, he's the best. Saw Jeter was next. Okay. I never got to see Pete Rose play in person. We live in Texas. I don't live by Houston. Pre-interleague play. He wasn't dropping by Arlington Stadium. Never got to see him play in person. And in fact, I never got to see. I've never seen the Reds play. My favorite team, maybe okay, if not my favorite team. You got to understand. If you grew up in the 70s, and you guys will get this, if you grew up in Texas, you had the Rangers and the Astros. So that was probably your first best team. And they kind of sucked at different times. So you got the game of the week on NBC. This is pre-ESPN. You're watching the Yankees, the Dodgers, the Phillies, the Reds, A's, early 70s, Baltimore, Pittsburgh, late 70s. We are family. And the Reds kind of just by de facto became this team I was, if not infatuated with, that grew up on going, that's the greatest baseball team ever. From bench behind the plate, Rose, Dave Concepcion, Griffey, Tom Seaver early. It was a deal, and that's where the Rose fascination for me comes from, and I think he was a great player. Should he be in the Hall of Fame? Yes or no? You tell me. All right, let's go back to the comments. Daryl, favorite thing, the hearts of the coaches and players, awesome people, makes us proud. By the way, you guys need to follow him on YouTube right there, because if not every week, almost every week, he will post the video of the Going Band from Raiderland. And I thank you for doing that. I linked to it several times on the hot links. And I hope that it drives numbers back your way. But I appreciate you doing that and putting that out there, because it's really cool. And we love watching the Going Band. We want to see more of the Going Band. But yeah, I don't know how many followers you got or subscribers on your YouTube channel. You ought to have like 50,000 Texas Tech people going there every week and checking out the show. We love the Going Band. There ought to be more Going Band. Ty Cobb was one of the worst human beings to ever live, but we don't talk about it. He was a racist. He was a pain in the ass. Everybody hated him. But it's okay for him to be in the Hall of Fame because he didn't bet on baseball. Yeah, it's not the Hall of Nice. It's not the Hall of whatever. And anymore, the Halls of Fame are dying in this era. The Hall of Fame needs to, and we're going to get to the Hall of Fame in a second, a little bit more, because I still want to get you guys talking about the thing you love most right now, your favorite thing about Tech football. We can bounce back and forth. I get it. Two best hitters you've ever seen in person. All right, George Brett for me. George Brett for me was probably the best I ever saw in person. Okay. The man won batting titles in the 70s, 80s, and 90s. Good Lord. That's awesome. You know? So we got all these topics going on. Oh, did anybody notice Gonzaga not going to the Big 12? They went to the Pac 12 and everything, but football. Yeah, it's about the right thing. And we're going to talk about the actor John Amos today. Trust me, we will. We'll get to that. We will. I'm just going to tell you this one time, Keith. Stay off the drugs. Let's see. Mr. Jordan, we need to remember this is a classic group of folks, even if we lose. Proud of them. Yeah. Craig, don't forget the Cubs. If you were homesick from school, yeah. Sure, exactly where that was coming from, but talk about it. Greatest hitters, and again, when you respond to a question, kind of put the question in the front of the answer, like a good debater would do. Like if you ask me a question in a debate, I'm going to kind of come back at you. I'm going to reiterate the question. That's a great question. When you ask me who the two best hitters are that I've ever seen, I'm going to give you this answer. So when you answer questions on this show, this broadcast, or anything else, reiterate the question so the host who's scanning down knows exactly what you're talking about. Ken Griffey Jr. had the best swing. Did you see him in person? Because that's the question. Did you see them in person? The best hitters you ever saw in person play with your own eyes. I don't think this is that difficult. Sometimes it is. I've done this for 35 years. I don't know by now. Nobody can follow directions. Saw him in Arlington, says Ryan. Dear Hyatt. Dear Hyatt. I like that. How are you? I'm fine. Speaking of the 70s, what do you think about the Broncos sending out pics of their 77 Orange Crush unit today that they will work against the Raiders? They should make them permanent. That's a great uni this week. Yeah, I didn't see that, but if we're going like 77, 78 Orange Crush, 100%, they never should have left it. Beautiful uniforms, and particularly against the Raiders, you should wear those absolutely every single time if you're the Broncos. Why do you get away from it? Why do you do that? It took a while to get there. Daryl says, my pleasure, I'm a band alum, and we know that. Set of a band alum, and now a lot of friends march with a few kiddos in the band. It's awesome. It is great. It's one of the best. See, I didn't know there were like different styles of bands. All right. See, and Daryl's gonna come back. Daryl's gonna come back on me a little bit on this, or maybe not. I didn't know, you had show bands, military style, quasi, this, that there were like 5,000 different bands or styles of bands or whatever. And the going band from Raiderland is considered, I believe, and if I'm wrong, you can correct me, still a show band, which has to do with how they do their movements and everything else, and time and counter time, and how to boil it down, how they march. I did marching band. They're going to march, right? No, there's a lot of different things, and they're one of the best at that in the country, and have been for many years, from Dean Killian on down to Keith Bearden, and here we are today. Let's see, Craig. Two best hitter I've seen in person: Ken Griffey Jr. and the Big Papi. Quality all the way around. With all the celebrity deaths, it's like the Grim Reaper is on Red Bull. We have lost another celebrity today, the great actor, John Amos. You may know him better as Cleo McDowell from Coming to America. He was on Good Times, and they killed his ass on Good Times because with with Jimmy Walker, he thought, so I'm talking about the actor John Amos, he thought that it was getting a little too cliched He didn't like it, and he fought back against the network. And I can't remember, was that on NBC or CBS? I can't remember what it was. They killed his ass in a car wreck, got rid of his ass. But he came back. He came back. He came back with a great restaurant in Queens, man. I mean, they got the Golden Arches. We got the Golden Arcs. They got the Big Mac. We got the Big Mick. They deal with this all the time. But you know what he did? You know what Cleo McDowell did? He was a great American in the 80s. He kept his employees off drugs. He kept them working. He gave them jobs. He gave them hope. You know? And he fought against the man. He fought against corporate America, just trying to carve out a little piece of America right there. Then he told King Joffrey, take your money and stuff it. I mean, when I say he's got his own money, he's got his own money. Holy crap, how good was that movie? First time I saw it, we snuck into the theater. Craig, with all the, okay, we already did that one. All right, you guys can get in now. Two best hitters you've ever seen in person in our Pete Rose. Didn't get to see him play in person. Sucked. What is the thing you like most, your favorite thing about Tech football right now for Texas Tech football fans, and then anything else that's on your mind tonight? We got movies. Hell, we got the vice presidential debate coming up tonight. We got world events unfolding in the Middle East like we really haven't seen since 1973 in the Yom Kippur War, which lasted from September 1st to the 25th, 26th. The last time the United States was truly at DEFCON 3, that was on 25-26 September 1973. President Nixon worried about USSR coming into the region with Egypt. Hell, you guys don't care. You don't know. Yeah, that's kind of where we are. It's really kind of fascinating tonight with the backdrop of a vice presidential debate, which people are saying, nobody cares about. This will be the most influential vice presidential debate that we've seen in, I don't know, ever. 40 years, 50 years. It will be consequential because on one side, the Democrat candidate, Kamala Harris, has been very reluctant to go in front of media and otherwise. So now here you go. You got a surrogate coming out in Tim Walz, J.D. Vance, obviously, with Donald Trump as his vice president nomination. And now they kind of have to carry the water that has not been carried by the presidential nominees, at least on one side. So it's going to matter. I really do think it's going to matter. Did you know that John Amos, we're talking about Cleo McDowell, we're talking about the dad on good, that he was a football player at Colorado State, that he had tryouts and kind of stuck around for a little bit with the Broncos and the Kansas City Chiefs, and then he said, I think I'm going to be an actor. I'm going to go do the acting thing, you know. Let's go back to the comments. You can get your comments in. Thanks to United Supermarkets tonight on YouTube, on Twitter X, on Facebook, wherever you enjoy watching the show. And if you're watching the replay, please subscribe to all of our channels, all of our platforms. Then watch where you want to, but grow, as Rob Bro used to say, grow the show. Did you story on everything in Lubbock about all the cars that got broken into over family weekend? 30 cars were hit over the 2-day period. I did not. I didn't see it. Where were they broken into? I don't know anything about it. But if I were a car thief and I was looking to break into cars and there's cars, I don't know a thing about it. I'm going to blame the cartels and I'm going to blame the cartels on that. Juan Gonzalez, everybody. James getting in on Facebook. Nobody could say Juan Gonzalez better than John Miller, one-time Ranger broadcaster in the late 70s, obviously came to prominence with the Orioles, then the San Francisco Giants, and Sunday Night Baseball. John Miller could say Juan Gonzalez. I can't get my voice there. Juan Gonzalez, and then Ryan Sandberg, great hitter. You got to see him play in person. You win. I mean, I saw Gonzalez, never saw Sandberg. In honor of Pete Rose, the two greatest hitters you ever saw in person with your own eyes. Everything else. The fake Natalie Maines, who may or may not be more real than the real Natalie Maines. Cleo McDowell's dogs were underappreciated actors in Coming to America. The whole movie is probably underappreciated. I mean, so first off, you've got to be a child of the 70s or 80s to get the whole Afro Sheen reference everywhere we went. Soul Glow, baby. And then when the Soul Glow family shows up and they lean up against the wall and they get up, you can't get away with that today. Pretty damn funny. Pretty damn funny. Let's see. How far? I messed up there. Now go back there. Hold on. How far will they be carrying the water? David Collier from KMAC 28 has weighed in with a reference to something that I'm not sure about. He likes to do that, though. Randy Charlie Blackman, a.k.a. Chuck Nasty, was great hitter. Get much attention. Played for the Rockies. Tried at the end of the season. No, he had a great beard. In his last at bat this weekend, I saw the video on that. You know, how you not get a lot of attention as a hitter for the Rockies? What are you doing? Saw Sandberg hit it mile high in the late 90s. Very good. Well, something. Every now and then, just you're going along, you're doing a show. I know you guys understand what this is like, and something kind of comes up on you. You're just like, what the hell? Did that happen? Carl, what the hell are we talking about? Who? How far will they be carrying the water? I mean, you come off the top rope, right off being geeked up, being on TV and hanging out with Lauren Motter and Brian Mudd and the weather guy. All of a sudden, I said Wallace and Vance will be carrying the water. Oh, okay. Sorry. See, this is, and we're going to do another commenter texter clinic here. When you comment on my comments, be very specific and back comment in and say, oh, when you said they'll be carrying the water, how far will they be carrying the water? See, that's how you work it onto a show. So let's say you're doing let's say you're doing a local radio show and nobody ever calls into call-in shows anymore because people are candy asses and they're afraid to call in. And in fact, most of the show hosts and most of the program directors at radio stations don't want callers to call in. Now, they still sell the advertising rights to it, but they really don't want them to give out the number or anything because they want them to text in because it's easier to manage it. So I'm going to give you a little caller text in lesson. When you text into a radio program or a show like this, again, backdate your text and say, kind of give them a little bit when you said or regarding this or anything else. If you want them to read your text and want to make it good, you do that. If you want to be just a common loser texter to a show that really doesn't contribute anything, then you just, you throw in something like, what was it? Hold on a second. We go up here. If you want to be like that, then you just go, how far will they carry the water? And then, like 10, 15 text on down, they're like, I don't know, and I'm not going to read it. So people get mad because you don't get your text read. I'm here to help you. I'm here to grow them. I'm here to make the freaking radio better in Lubbock, Texas. This is how you communicate with them. I mean, they're getting literally 2 and 3 texts an hour. It's hard to keep up with it. So do something for them, all right? Help them out. It's not that hard. You did well assessing band styles. Brother Cohen band may be the best sounding band in the country. they're good. And thank you for. I tried to learn. I tried to learn. I tried to pick up a few things over the years, and it's a Sluder Trophy. Sluder, Sluder, trophy that goes out to the best collegiate band. I think Tech's won it twice in the last 25 years or so, or 30. I think they've won it twice. Sluder Cup, maybe is what it is. And I like all kinds of college bands. Love the going band, obviously. Wish they'd get to play more. Hell, I like military style bands. Don't get mad at me right now. I'm impressed every time I watch the Texas A&M Fighting Gomer Pyle band. They don't run into each other. They're doing all this close order drill stuff. You know, it's amazing to watch. It really is. The Tech band, they're just and I don't know if they're as big as they were in the 70s or 80s. That's a great question. Jordan can handle that right there. I don't know what the total number of marchers are. It seems smaller, and also, do we have twirlers? Now, I know Tech has it. I don't seem like we got twirlers anymore. All right, a few more minutes to go. Tech football. What's your favorite thing about Tech football right now? Right now, what's your favorite thing about Tech football? Give us that. Pete Rose, Hall of Fame, yes or no? Two best hitters you've seen in person. Favorite thing about Tech football right now for me is that Joey McGuire has done something in 2.5 years, almost 2.5, that has to be done at Texas Tech. You got to win at home. He wins at home. His teams win at home. The other thing that they have done, they win close games. You take those two things. Now, the last component to that, you win at home, you win close games, usually at home. You got to win on the road. Now, why don't you win on the road right now? And that's a discussion. Maybe we have that tomorrow as a question. Why do you think Tech doesn't win on the road compared to home? Your crowd's great. It's not that great. I mean, to the point that, nobody can function, nobody can do anything. And I'm not downgrading Tech fans. I'm just saying that at a certain point, what is it? And it's not completely just this unbelievable wall of sound that they cannot function. Tech crowds are great. Again, don't get me wrong. So what is it that is between the ears that keeps Texas Tech from doing what they're doing at home on the road? You're playing basically the same teams, the same level of teams. What is it? What is that difference? And if Joey McGuire knew it, he'd create that environment. And he talked about it a little bit on Monday about how they're going to stretch out the day. Obviously, it's a hideously late start, body clock time, and everything else. But it fascinates me that, okay, that's the last domino to fall right now. But there are a lot of Tech coaches that could have hung around a lot longer if they'd won at home the way McGuire wins at home. People pay a lot of money to see you. They feel good when you win. People pay a lot of money to come into Lubbock now, and when you win, they feel good. I think that's one of the things I enjoy most about Tech football right now is that, hey, they're taking care of business at home. They're working on an identity. I think they're this close to an identity. This close. We may talk about that in the coming days. We did not talk about tonight Gonzaga going to the Pac-12 as it should be. I think Gonzaga basketball, by the way, is it a program or a person? We don't know. And you could have been saddled with a program that was a person, and as soon as that person is gone, all of a sudden you got a mouth to feed. 100%. All right, last chance. Get in. Questions, comments. I'm looking forward to watching this vice presidential debate. I think it is consequential. I think it will actually play more consequential in this election cycle than any VP debate has played since 1948. There wasn't one in 1948. Just I thought I'd throw it out there. So, what you can do, you guys can share this on Twitter, on Facebook, invite everybody else in. All right, let's see. Got to hit some. Is Collier talking about water scene and Coming to America when Prince Hakeem was getting his royal bath? Ooh. Do you like the Aggie band too? Why doesn't what does that say? What is it? Let our band play. They do let them play. Gio lets them play. You get to play halftime, but they got to make money apparently for you guys. So there you go. Take guys, 2 accurate kickers, no matter the situation. I still can't get over that you got 2 kickers. You aren't mentally tough enough to win on the road. Okay, why? You're mentally tough enough at home. What's the difference? I mean, seriously, I think mentally weak teams are mentally weak at home, mentally weak on the road. What is the difference? Regarding bands, from what I've heard, that the straight line marching is the hardest type of marching because if one person is even half of a step off, it ruins the entire show. Yeah, but you can say that too for a show style band, and I know this because my son was in the marching band at Ropes, and they won state when he was in the 8th grade. So I'm a huge band guy, and I know all about the band. And one 8th grade trombone player could be off a little bit, and you're not winning state. They freaking won state. They're that good. That's what they do. David Collier, Chemic 28 Sports Trader. Earlier during this broadcast, you defended Waltz and Vance carrying water. Is this a contest? Is it Survivor? Is it Wipeout? What channel? I have no idea what channel the debate's on tonight. I think it's being moderated by CBS, but I don't know. I'll just turn on something and it'll be on and I'll watch it. I like general improvement, says Timbo, from home, from game to game. No shows. Yeah, even the worst loss, the only loss this year, you weren't a complete no-show. You just played like crap. Most memorable hitters I've seen in person, Reggie Jackson and Will Clark. Dang it, I could put Will the Thrill on there, but I didn't because I don't like it because he's jackass. That's just me. When I was a kid, me and one of my friends went to the movies to watch Young Guns. Thanks for saying when we were kids, when you went to see Young Guns, whether it's 1, 2, or otherwise. Decided to go watch Coming to America with my friends. Mom? Surely I read that wrong. Just going to click off that. Surely I read that. Yeah, you can share this on the internets and on Facebook and on social media and Twitter and stuff. TheRaiderland.com. We archive this. We'll be with you in the morning. Underrated, overrated, rated right Wednesday. Yeah, we're just going to end it now. Y'all share the show stuff. We'll see you tomorrow. TheRaiderland.com.